Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most gracious. Today we have a new lesson for indefinite and definite articles, a and the and no article. This video is for the first and second prep together. This video is for the first and second prep. Okay. I am going to open a new sheet, worksheet, and divide the sheet into two sections. The first one for using a or an, and the second column would be for using the. We have to use a or an for singular, countable nouns. We have to use a or an for singular, countable nouns. We use the for singular or plural, and for countable and uncountable nouns. So we could use the word the with all the nouns, singular, plural, countable, or uncountable. On the other hand, a or an for singular, countable nouns only. Okay. For example, we could say the rice. The rice. On the other hand, we can't say a rice. It is wrong. Why? Because the word rice is uncountable noun. We can't say a rice. It is wrong. It is incorrect. Okay. We could say the book. And we could say the books. And we could say a book. But we can't say a books. It is wrong. Why? Because we have to use a or an for singular, countable nouns only. So a book is correct using a or an. Okay, we can use a or an before singular. Yes, here, singular noun that we can count. Countable nouns. For example, I have got a new camera. A new camera. We used a not for new, but we used a for the word camera. Okay. But we can't use a or an before uncountable nouns. Before uncountable nouns. We could use a or an before jobs. He is a teacher, he is an engineer, and so on. And we use an before nouns which begin before nouns which begin with a vowel, like the word engineer. We have a vowel here in the beginning of this word. He is an engineer, he is a doctor, he is a teacher, he is a vet, and so on. Okay, we could use the word, we could use the article a or an before some expressions like week and day, once a week, twice a day, 2 kilometers per hour, for example, an hour. And we have to use a before the word university and the uniform, a one-way street. Okay. I am going to ask you, why did we use a instead of an before the word university? I have mentioned it before at school. Because we are talking about sounds, not letters. Sounds, not letters. Okay, write it down on a paper and take a picture for it and send it back for me. Using the. We use the word the before to talk about something we have mentioned before. For example, Ali bought a car. The car was red. Okay. For the first time, when we mentioned the word car, we used a, because we have talked about it for the first time. But if we mentioned it again, we have to use the word the instead of a. For the first time, you have to use a. For the second time, you have to use the. So you use a or an before jobs, and we use a if we mention if we are going to mention a name for the first time, and we have to use the if we are going to mention a name for the second time. Okay. We use the word the if we are going to talk about a unique noun. We have to use the word the if we are going to talk about a unique nouns. Okay, for example, the earth. If we have a noun like earth which begins with e and the word that ends with e, so we have to pronounce it as the earth, not the earth. The earth, not the earth. The sun, the moon, the sky, and so on. We use the word that for relative clause. The boy who. It is a relative clause or a relative pronoun. And we use the word the or the article the when we use comparison or adverbs of degree, like the tallest, the fastest, and so on. The most beautiful, the most exciting. We use the with the names of oceans and rivers and canals. For example, the Nile, the Red Sea, the Suez Canal, the Mediterranean Sea, the Atlantic Ocean. But we can't use it with lakes. For example, Lake Nasser. With the word Lake Nasser, we can't use a or an or the, so it comes with no article. We can't say the Lake Nasser. We can't say a Lake Nasser. Just Lake Nasser directly. Okay. That's enough for today, and wait for me for the next video. Mr. Eihab.